We've only had one night sitting outside Florrie in all the time we've had it. And the last time was in a woodland in Leicestershire.
Yeah.
This time, we're here. Hello guys, join us as we do a full review of our Scotland Not the NC 500 Tour 2024. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi everyone, we are Dave and Sue. I'm Dave.
I'm Sue.
Usual rubbish.
Yeah.
And we are we're actually the last day at the Newark Motorhome and Campervan Show, National Motorhome and Campervan Show, which has been brilliant. We've seen some good entertainment, met some lovely people, and we've had a really good time. But this video is about us reviewing our time in Scotland and what we learned, where we went, just to give some maybe tips of what we found out as newbies in a motorhome in Scotland to other guys like you guys who maybe haven't been to Scotland or, you know, haven't gone to certain areas. Right, let's just stop him there. So, before we get into the detail, what's the summary of the costs that we incurred on this entire trip? Well, we did 1,129 miles. That included mileage from where we live in Bedfordshire to the Scottish border and back. Our total fuel cost was £321.52. Site costs £642, ferry costs £121.90, and that gives us a total cost of £1,085.42 before we spend anything on food or drink. The average site costs were £30.39 with a maximum of £40 and a minimum site cost of £20. So where did we go? Right, so what happened was, so where we actually went, so we travelled up. We deliberately weren't going on the NC 500, and we were going to go up along the west coast, and we were going to take a ferry across towards Oban, then a ferry to the Isle of Mull, then a ferry to Ardnamurchan, then back another ferry to around Inchry, which is sort of in the Fort William area, and then sort of back into central Scotland and down that way. I'll put the map up in terms of where we went. So it wasn't NC 500 territory, but we did go some...
I think you did a video.
Yeah, I'll link that up actually, about where we were going to go.
Where we were going to go, and we did stick to
we
that.
Stuck to it.
So.
We did stick to it, yeah. But we'll come on to some of that. We did go to some fairly remote places, which was wonderful. So again, it's something that some people aren't into. It's sometimes you want the bigger sites, and sometimes you just want to be out completely on your own. So we did a bit of both, really, didn't we? Of that. Yeah. So we did 21 nights. We did 14 different sites. We did it in early May, so the weather was pretty good. In fact, actually, it was better than it is in June in England.
Yeah, well, it's probably the same everywhere, but
we're having dreadful weather at the moment in England, and it's June. So May in Scotland was wonderful. We were really lucky.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah, we were really lucky. For the first 2 weeks, we almost didn't get any rain. What did we learn then? Well, we went across to the Isle of Mull on the ferry. I fell in love with the Isle of Mull. I think you did too.
It's a really nice island.
Yeah. I mean, the wildlife.
I don't think it's a place for, might be going a bit off topic, but it's not a place for people going off grid. I get the impression from what people have said.
It's difficult for off grid, I think.
So you have to.
Well, actually,
that's what we've been told.
One place we didn't go to was a place called Fidden Farm, which is right on the west tip of the Isle of Mull, and there is a lot of wild camping there.
Yeah, but that's the only place that got mentioned.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've been told by other people that they don't I don't know if it's true, but they don't really welcome off-gridders.
And I think part of the reason is when you look at the roads around there, they're really, really narrow one single track roads. I'm trying to say it, get out of my mouth. Single track roads, and there are not many park ups, I don't think. So you probably better to just go to an organised site, or somewhere like Fidden Farm, where it's. I mean, I saw one which I didn't even realise on near where we stayed, which is it's got no electric hookup, it's got no facilities whatsoever, but for £5 a night you can park up, and it looks across a big lot.
We could perhaps try that another
there's
time.
probably a couple of because we think we will be going back to Mull again next year. We loved it so much. We also went to Ardnamurchan on the ferry from Mull. I think we loved, well, you say I think we loved Ardnamurchan even more than we did Mull. It was just unbelievable. Kentra Loch and Nanau, those little sites will come up.
Well, I think it was where we were staying that made it so good.
The wildlife on both Mull and Ardnamurchan is just unbelievable. We saw otters. There it is. There, it's an otter.
There's
two of them. Two otters.
Have you got it?
Yeah, got it. Two otters. Wonderful. Wonderful.
You've got them on the film?
Yeah, we've got them on film.
So it's probably a mother and a baby.
Yeah, mother and cub. Absolutely brilliant.
So there you are.
We had eagles flying right overhead, literally. I got it. Just absolutely stunning, really. What else did we learn? The ferries are really easy. We did book the ferries in advance. Calmac ferries. There's a Western ferry which goes across from McEnroy's Point to Dunoon. Then we did the Mull ferry, which I'll link up. That was easy. We booked that. A bit nervous about it, but it was dead easy, wasn't it? Went across on a beautiful day.
That was the big
ferry, one, and the views were unbelievable on that ferry. And then we were very nervous because we had to leave Mull to go to Ardnamurchan on a really small ferry. And we booked in advance, and when we got there we were a bit worried that we were going to get on, but we did, and they left another motorhome and a couple of cars behind.
You mean on that one? I mean, we definitely were going to get on, but it's so small that sometimes if you're not early, you might have to wait 2 hours for the next one.
They left two cars and a motorhome behind because they arrived with about 10 minutes to go to the ferry, which was too late because everybody by that time was queued up to get on. So the ferries,
getting there early.
Ferries are dead easy. We got the Cora ferry. And we just basically drove up to that ferry and waited and got on the next one when it came across. That was dead easy. So 4 ferries, really easy to book.
No problems on any of them.
At all.
You used just suspension though, didn't you?
Used the air suspension, Staff were so friendly and helpful, weren't they? They waved you on. There was a guy, one of the ferries, who looked a bit dodgy with the being grounded, but it was fine, wasn't it? Worked really well. So that was another thing we learned.
They do everything they can to make sure you don't.
They really do. Yeah, they really.
The van. So
fuel on like that in that area. We didn't really have any problems. We didn't fuel up on. Yes, we did. Mull, we fueled up in Tobermory, just there's a garage right on the harbour. That was fine. And there's another little one in a place called Salem, I think. But that I just don't think I'd have got Florrie into that fuel station and been able to fuel up there. So we did. So we fueled up in Oban before we went.
Wasn't there one near the site?
Yeah,
the little site.
Yeah. So I was just going to come on to that. That's a good one. Yeah, because we went from. We fueled up in Mull, we got on the ferry to Ardnamurchan, and the site we stayed on was a little place called Loch and Nanau, and it had a two little fuel pumps. The petrol was out, but the diesel was actually in.
We didn't use it. But you expect it to be there.
No, and you pay in the shop, don't you? Yeah. So that so we did sort of. The policy was, if you see a fuel station, just top up. That's what we did, because it was really wild out in Ardnamurchan. It was fantastic. But then again, there was a fuel station, so tiny one, albeit what else did we learn?
You've got notes.
Which
I
shops?
Can't read because I haven't got my glasses on. Sorry.
Shops. Well, I mean, we didn't have any problems at all. Our friends took the mick out of us a bit about when we were,
That's Lindsay
and David, because they said we do have shops in Scotland. Well, of course, we didn't have a clue. We know they have Scotland.
I've been to very remote parts of Scotland before with the car, and have struggled to get shopping.
Yeah.
But everywhere we went, it was easy enough.
Yeah, and in Ardnamurchan, a little place called Kilcohen, which is really, really remote. There's a lovely little shop there.
Yeah.
It had everything you wanted. It was fantastic.
The click and collect that we did at Oban, wasn't it? That was just worth doing, really, because you can get nearly a week's supply.
Yeah, we stocked up with about 2 weeks' supply nearly, didn't we?
Of some things,
all the non-essential sort of thing. But we did a click and collect, which was cool. We booked that a few days in advance, and that worked out really well.
Easy.
So food and shopping and all that stuff was cool. I'm just looking at. I have to take my glass off to see the notes, don't I? And you can't see the notes because you haven't got your.
No, because I haven't got my glasses. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Wildlife. I mean, what did we learn about the wild? I knew there'd be good wildlife. I knew that it would be fantastic. In terms of the Mull's probably one of the best places to go for seeing wildlife, but we didn't really realise how much. I mean, I'm into sort of bird watching and all that stuff, and I saw more species. I saw new species for me, about 5 or 6 new species for me that I'd never seen, let alone filmed. And then we saw otters. That was fantastic to see the otters. Yeah. Just wonderful. As I say, sea eagles. We saw a golden eagle flying across one of the passes. Couldn't get any film of it. It's just amazing. I mean, the red deer are just like they're just there. Red deer are they talk about the monarch of the Glen, and they're up there but red deer are everywhere in Western Scotland. They really are. You just can't miss them.
Which is sort of a really new thing for us. Because we only see muntjac really.
That's right.
Home.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Young Stag. Saw you from a distance, mate. Oh, there's a few of you. Stunning shot, stunning.
Yeah.
So it was cool. That was really cool. And the only other thing I think I'll put, what we learned, well, the Wi-Fi in the van, I don't reckon. I'm trying to think. There was only one site, I think, where we didn't get pretty good Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
4G.
very good.
Yeah. And we got 5G and or 2G, and it was literally pretty good every single site we went onto. Yeah. So that was it. Next point we had was, what would we do differently if we were to go next? If we were to go, we are definitely going next year.
We're going back to Scotland, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we're going to do the same
if all
places.
goes to plan.
Yeah.
But you said it's 21 nights and 14 sites, and that's what we'd do differently. It was a bit too much moving, I think.
Yeah. We wanted to see, the plan was to see as much as possible. The reality was you don't get to see as much because you're always on the move. So although you travel some amazing roads, which we did, there was a couple of times where, and Ardnamurchan, we keep coming back to Ardnamurchan, the site at Loch Nalal, we stayed 2 nights, which was an honesty box. We didn't even know we were going to be able to stay there, but we did. Right. Could have stayed there for a week. Kentra Bay, which was the next one, that was gorgeous. We only stayed there 1 night. Yeah, we saw the eagle. We watched it. It was just fantastic wildlife.
Yeah, that's a lovely location. That one. Yeah.
So I think we probably would have, in fact, bizarrely, when we went inland, more towards the centre of Scotland, at one point we thought we'd just cancel all the bookings future and actually go back to spend more time on Ardnamurchan, or even probably not Mull, but definitely Ardnamurchan. So I think next year we probably won't book sites. Maybe book a couple of sites on the way up.
We're thinking maybe a different island anyway, aren't we? Arran, maybe.
Maybe we're looking at Arran, but I would like to do Ardnamurchan as well, and maybe combine all of them. Go up first north and then back down. We haven't even looked at it really, but definitely try not to book too far in advance, because at that time of year we didn't really find a full.
No, most sites had space, and
I think there was 2 sites that were full, which was Bunree and Invercoe. And even Bunree, we turned up, and there was a German couple behind us in a motorhome, and he was behind. I even told you this. He was behind me in the queue in the reception, and he said, "Do you have any space?" And they said, "Well, we could fit you in for 1 night." Right. So actually, they said they were full. they fitted this guy in.
Yeah,
So,
well, you'd expect Bunbury to be
full,
full, and Inverco as well.
Inverco was very, so we did
those two. If you want those, book in advance.
We booked a long way in advance. We probably booked 3-4 months in advance for those sites.
They've got lovely views. They're big. They've got all the facilities, which a lot of people like. Yeah. So that's why.
Just stunning it was. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. So when we do next year, we will not. We'll work out where we're going to go.
Yeah.
But probably we will leave it so that we can amend and change the itinerary.
Bit of flexibility.
Flexibility is the word. That's what I was trying to find out. That's it. Yeah. How did the motorhome perform in Scotland for 3 weeks on some pretty wild roads, up some mountain passes? We did at least 3 mountain passes. Very, very wild single track roads. Absolutely wonderful.
No problems.
She coped with it brilliantly. You know, we didn't have any issues whatsoever. We had an issue coming down, going up Glencoe, where a big Arctic tried to take us out on a narrow bridge.
Bit over the road, wasn't it? That's what
but
it was.
You know, you just drive accordingly, don't you? So I managed to slam the brakes on and keep out of his way. But yeah, you know, single track roads are fine because obviously everybody moves out of the way as long as you drive properly on them. You know, let people past if you've got someone behind you, and that's it. So, and in terms of everything in the motorhome, what happened? I broke the grey waste pipe which I'd fitted. That was on a dodgy road to a waterfall. So that was probably my fault. I didn't really anticipate quite such a rough road. But otherwise everything worked fine, didn't it? Yeah, absolutely fine. So finally, I suppose you can say.
I was only going to say that being away, that was the longest we've been away in the van, and so it was the first time really that I had to do any washing.
Oh yeah, of course, we forgot.
So that was what I would say to anyone doing that for the first time. I'd say go for use industrial machines if you can. I mean, we did some washing caravan and motorhome site at Bunbury.
That's right.
They had like industrial washers and dryers, so it's quite expensive. Well, about £4 or £5 a wash and a dry.
Yeah.
And with those machines, they can cope with a big load of washing.
Yeah.
And drying.
Yeah.
Whereas some sites have got like domestic machines, so if you've built up a lot of washing, you're going to need more than one load. So you're paying, and you're also paying in time because you have to keep going back and keep doing loads of washing. So I'd recommend, like, what are those things called on the side of the road? The Revolutions. Well, something like that, which we haven't used, but I definitely would use those.
Yeah, and you won't find them obviously in some of those remote places, but you know, Fort William.
Yeah, a lot of garages have them nowadays.
That's right.
But some sites do have the industrial ones. I noticed that Bunbury did, and I got my washing done there.
What about Pennygowan on Mull? Did they have?
They had. Pennygowan had a domestic washing machine, and actually you're right, I did do a little bit of washing there, but if you've got a whole load, you don't want to be going loads of times
that's right.
doing loads of washing.
That's right.
So
we're going to finish off, I think, by saying what was each of our favourite sites. We're probably going to end up saying the same.
I think we know that we agree on number one, don't we?
Yeah, number one we definitely agree on, and that was Loch Nanau, which was on the coast at Kilcoen, Ardnamurchan, and it was one where we didn't book. When we said we booked everything, this is one we didn't book.
Well, we tried,
but no one answered the phone, and the reason no one answered the phone, so sadly, was that the guy had been ill who owned it and passed away the week before we were going to visit there. We turned up, and the little site was closed off. It's almost not a site, it's just some pictures on the beach nearly. The gate was closed. We spoke to someone in the little coffee shack next door, and they said, just open the gate, pay your money in the honesty box, and so that's what we did.
And a family member was still coming to collect the money and for the time being, so we're hoping that one stays. We want to go back. We hope that it remains a campsite. So it's got electric hookup, hasn't it? Yeah, electric hookup on there. Well, there are some without, but there are some with, some have got. We got that from JP.
Yeah, JP, yeah, Lamoureux, yeah.
JP, he's been there, but since he visited, I think the coffee shack's a new thing.
That's right, yeah.
But the reason it was our favourite was really from the bedroom window. You open the blind and the sea. There's the sea.
I mean, to be honest, we were there for 2 nights. We turned up about 11 o'clock in the morning, and obviously there's someone there, so you just park up, pay your money. So we were there all that afternoon. By about 3 o'clock, I think it was, it started raining. Then it rained all night. It rained most of the day the next day, and it finally stopped raining about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That was our favourite site.
And it was the only time we got much rain.
Yeah. It was our favourite site because what a stunning location it was. You could look. We looked across the Sound of Mull. You could see Ben Moor on Mull in the distance. There's a little locken next. It's called Locken now because there's a tiny little locken right next to where you park your van. There's a little harbour.
Quite a lot of wildlife there.
Wildlife is stunning. There's a little shop.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
20 yards down the road.
It's a surprising shop.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't look much from
the outside. And that was the one with the little fuel pumps outside, so you could even fuel up if you wanted to.
And the owner of the shop also has now opened that coffee shack, which is open every day, I think. But the shop is so well stocked. It's so surprising that if there's anything that you need, you pretty much find a version of it in there.
So Kilcohen, Loughnanal, don't go there because we don't want it to get known or crowded.
But it could only get so crowded because not that many pictures.
Yeah, about 10 pictures actually. 5 or so that are non-hookup, and the other 5 or 6 are hookup. So, what a place! What a place! Right, so that was number 1.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Number 2. What was your number 2?
Pennygowan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Friendly.
But Pennygowan was on Mull.
Yeah, with the one with the pink cow.
Yeah, pink cow. Just look for the pink cow on the Isle of Mull.
I loved the owners there. They were so friendly. And so helpful. And so on everything. And the view was really spectacular, as you would say.
You looked across Sound of Mull again.
And you could walk down to the beach and walk along
waterfall.
the beach. Yeah.
Lovely waterfall
and
there.
That waterfall, So it was a combination of really friendly sites,
amazing location,
and facilities, nice clean facilities.
Yeah, we also had stunning weather as well. Absolutely,
maybe that influenced it a bit. I don't know.
It was the first time we'd sat outside the van really, almost ever since we've had it, and just sat there and absolutely fantastic. It was just wonderful.
So was that your second choice?
That wasn't my second choice. My second choice was Kentra Bay, Ardnamurchan, where we basically only stayed for a night, but that was literally on the bay. It was a tidal bay. It's a huge bay, a big tidal bay where when we arrived there was no water, and then by the time within a few hours the whole bay was was the sea. Again, wildlife, unbelievable. The one night
that's another one that JP recommended as well. So,
but we sat there one night with watching the sun go down, and a sea eagle, white-tailed sea eagle, flew straight over our heads. Literally, and I managed to just about get a bit of film of it as it flew away because it was so close.
Night when
it was a beautiful sunset. We had deer on the horizon, and we were waiting for the aurora, but then we thought it wasn't going to happen, and it did. We missed it, but irrespective, that was my favourite night, I think, of the whole trip.
And that would have been nice to have longer there. That's a good example.
We nearly went back. We honestly nearly went back. We almost cancelled the rest of the trip just to go back there. We went to see David and Lindsay at
we did consider going back to that one.
It was that good. It was that good. These places, they're a bit of a trek to get to, within a motorhome. You either go across from Mull or you take the road from the Horan Ferry, and that takes you right out. It's the westernmost point of the mainland British Isle, mainland Britain. It's just stunning, isn't it? It's just stunning. So that was my number 2.
And as for number 3, I can't choose because there's so many that could come in at number 3. There were so many good ones that it would seem unfair to choose one of them.
I've probably got a joint number 3. I'll probably Pennygowan, and then Port Nan Gale, which was also on the Isle of Mull, where we saw otters, and you're pretty much guaranteed to see wildlife. You're on a sea lock. I got up in the morning, wandered.
That's got that restaurant right next to it.
Yeah, they've got a pub restaurant right next door. It's really a restaurant rather than a pub. Quite expensive, but it's really worth. Yeah, really
it
good
only
food.
opens for like from the evening.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah, but that was
food,
that was again, the views is just stunning, and the wildlife. We walked up to see the otters. We walked up to watch otters. We saw eagles. We saw. I saw great northern divers. They were just common. But yeah, so that was my number 3, I think. In terms of sites we didn't particularly like, there probably were a couple.
We're not going to mention them, are we?
We're not going to mention. No,
it doesn't seem fair to mention.
No. You don't do a review on ones that it might have been a bad day for us. It might have been a bad day for them. So we wouldn't. But
and
overall,
it's always a personal thing anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But overall, the people were so friendly. Everybody we met on sites was so friendly, especially the 2 guys in Ardnamurchan. Pennygowan on Mull. The guy there, the owner there, they both were wonderful. I had such a long chat with him, and then the guy at Kentra Bay as well. Long chats, and it's brilliant to chat to these guys about how they live. They've lived there all their lives, and we're just sort of passing through. But what a place they are! What a place! So. That's it, really, guys. I hope we haven't bored you too much. We've gone on for longer than we probably thought we would.
Yeah.
Hopefully, have done, you'll have seen, as I've been jabbing, you'll have seen me put some of the film up that we took. Although, again, that's another thing I've learned before we finish.
Oh yeah.
I did try and upload videos in mid-trip, and I thought I'd do it on the iMovie on my iPhone. Because I've got some software at home which I use on the PC, but I ran out of space on the iPhone and it was getting on my nerves, and even though I was trying to put more space on the iCloud, it won't make any difference. So I ended up giving up, and I've lost a bit of film that I filmed on my phone, but we've still got stuff on the GoPros and and the camera. So I'll put some of that stuff up to show you what we were talking about in terms of the 3s and all that, the first 3 and stuff. So but I mean, we've had lots of holidays, and I think that was one of our favourite holidays without the kids, really. For me, it was 3 weeks just away, and it's just wonderful to be in a motorhome. Just brilliant, Loved every second, didn't we, really?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
So we're going back next year, definitely.
Going back somewhere, not quite decided yet.
If it was me, I'd go Ardnamurchan, Mull, and come down and then do Arran for a week.
But we'll see.
It's probably quite a long trip, so we'd have to look at the logistics of how you do that.
We've got a couple of trips to Europe.
Off to Europe in about 6 weeks, I think. Now I've got to start.
It is?
Something 6 or 7 weeks. I've got to start getting some planning done for that, really. And so we're going to go and enjoy the rest of the National Motorhome and Campervan show. The sun is out. Our neighbour has just put their awning out.
Yes.
It's been raining for 3 days.
I was watching him.
3 days solid it's been raining for, but he's put his awning out.
Crazy weather.
So we've got to look. I'll have to look at the forecast because it said it was going to rain. So
anyway, that's what we do in the UK. Complain about the weather.
Yeah. What time is it going to rain today? We've been asking.
And even when it gets hot, then we complain about that as well. So
that's it. Dead right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did like the video, then don't forget hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Hit the like button. That's really helps us as well. And please leave a comment to see what you thought and if you enjoyed it, and comments about any advice that you've got when you've been up to those areas or Scottish travelling in the motorhome or camper van. So thanks very much indeed, guys, and we'll see you on the next one, which hopefully will be something around. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. I don't even know when I'm going to put this video up because we've still got a bit.
You need to stop talking.
I've got to stop talking.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks very much.